All right, here we go. Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for joining us this evening. And also, thank you, Dominic, for joining us this evening. We appreciate it.
Hey everybody.
Hey, so Dominic, just want to tell you very much from the bottom of my heart, thank you for showing up. There's so many people that had so many questions about what you do and how we get into your position. But before I start, I want to tell people a little bit about what we do here in this channel. But basically, we're a group of service members with most of us have non-traditional backgrounds in IT. And what we're doing is we're gathering all the resources and all the type of materials that are free for veterans and trying to consolidate at one place and basically build each other up and be like, hey, this is the steps you take. This is what I've done. And this is how I've made it into that position. Because if anybody has seen the types of resources out there, there's just so many resources and not all of it's good. I think I've mentioned that to you before, Dominic, because there's so much out there. Um, but with that being said, for anyone that's also looking, we have a lot of resources in all the pin sections that whenever you look into the left hand side, they're at the very top. So if you're looking for something, or if you're confused about something, please don't hesitate to say something in the day room. You could pop in there, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. But without further ado, I have to introduce Dominic, who from the very first time I met you, I don't know if you remember that first email I sent you and that first Slack message I sent you. I was just like, man, this guy is on point. This guy is awesome, and you were more than willing to meet up with me. Um, and of course, you work remotely at the time, so we met online. But later on, you liked me so much that you decided to meet me in person. So, but I also did have some swag from him. So
Yeah,
that was a little bit,
glad.
yeah, that was a little bit of the thing. So, but anyways, Dominic, he's a certified Scrum Master with USAA. For those of you that don't know what a Scrum Master is, it's basically like a project manager for software developers. You know,
Mhm.
most software developers don't have the soft skills sometimes to, put their emotions or their stuff into words. So Dominic's there to remove any type those types of barriers and to, get the resources that they need to execute. And I think from what I understand, you actually do Scrum Master for more than one team, like two teams, right?
Yes, I have two teams. I have an agile team, which is the Scrum team, and I have a Kanban team, which is a different framework. It follows kind of like a I don't want to say it's a different methodology, basically following how fast you can get work in and work out. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, sorry to jump a little bit into the discussion, but yeah, before we get started, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, no, most definitely. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dominic. I am currently a Scrum Master at USAA. I've been at USAA for almost say 6 months now. I have two teams. Previously, I was a Scrum Master at the Redeemed Christian Church of God for about 2 years, where we basically handled work like cloud work basically. We were building these cloud apps. We were transferring all our services from all the different services that we had. We were transferring it from those different services to like this thing called ChurchPad. So yeah, we transferred it to this thing called ChurchPad. So currently at USA now, I have a Scrum team and a Kanban team. I just switched to a cybersecurity. I was a nursing major, but I decided to make the big switch into cybersecurity because love the field. And I was blessed with the role as a Scrum Master at USA to kick off my IT journey. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
me.
no, that's awesome, Dominic. But I think one of the things that you mentioned to me before is some of the things that made you very attractive to the job was you actually had some front end development experience. Is that correct? Can you elaborate on some of the things that made you stand out to get that position?
So yeah, I mean, as far as that, right now, I would say what most of the positions that for Scrum Masters, people nowadays don't want just the average Scrum Master who has a Scrum Master certification. That's good to have. Even at work with my managers, I'm seeing that they're asking me to be more technical, to dive more into the work, to understand more. from not primarily a developer because I cannot be a developer. I'm not a developer. That role is for a developer. But just to be more technical, so I do have a front end software development certification as well. Um, and I'm, I'm not gonna say that I'm a front end software developer. That's not who I am. But as far as understanding HTML, JavaScript, all that stuff, I do have a good understanding of that. So
Yeah, what other certifications do you possess?
I have my SSM, my SAFe Scrum Master, and SAFe as in Scaled Agile Framework. If you're looking for enterprise like USAA, USA is a safe enterprise, so that would be good. You have your regular CSM, your regular Scrum Masters, PSM, all that. Then you have your SSM, which is safe. The only difference between your regular CSM and your SSM is that safe prioritizes, they do this thing called PI planning. PI planning is basically a 3-day event where you go ahead and plan out the next 3 months of your life, or all the work that you're gonna do for the next 3 months. You plan it that specific for those 3 days. I'm so sorry. Someone's at
Oh,
my
you're
door.
good. You're good, man. Yeah, dude, you're good, man. I got
I'm
this.
so sorry.
Oh, you're good. Sorry about the time mix-up, guys. I transferred from a Texas time zone to back to North Carolina in the past couple weeks, so oops,
Oh, no
it's
problem.
been a little
I was
hectic.
just
And I just got through testing for all these little certs today, so this is my book.
good God.
Yep.
I'm
Hey.
sure if I printed out everything that I'm involved in right now, it would look like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, yeah.
That's
Sorry.
crazy.
Go ahead, Dominic. Sorry.
Yeah, no, my apologies about
You're
that.
good.
But back to a safe enterprise. The only difference between a safe enterprise and CSM or regular certified Scrum Master is safe prioritizes PI planning, which is a 3-day event where all the teams in your ARC, your Agile Release Train, they plan what they're going to do for the next 3 months. They plan every story. They plan all the risk that they might experience. They plan all the dependencies that they need with different other teams. They plan everything out so that everyone knows exactly what you're doing in this month, in that month, within the first 2 weeks, within the next 2 weeks. And that's the difference between SSM and like regular Scrum Master. If you have your CSM, PSM, I would say get SSM as well. It's a great certification and it has a lot of value in that. And then I have my SFC, which is like Scrum Fundamental. That one was like a free certification that I saw on LinkedIn. I went in, did the work, and just received that certification. So that's what I have as well. And then I am currently planning on getting my CSM as well, just because it's like a regular beginner Scrum Master certification that you should have. I know that not every business is a safe enterprise business like USA is. So it's good just to have that CSM on the side as well, because people are going to be looking for that. So those are the certifications that I have.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Do you mind explaining to us what agile means?
Yeah, so agile is basically agile focuses on continuous improvement. Agile focuses on producing value incrementally. Um, so by that, instead of the waterfall method, which is basically um, you have work, and the way that it goes, it just flows down, right? And then you deliver the work at the end. Let's just say we're building a house, basically. Analogy, we're building a house. Siriwa, you are the person who wants the house built. You tell me, I want this type of door, this type of flooring, I want this type of roof. Build me that house. What Waterfall does, Waterfall is going to build you the house exactly how you want it and give it to you. And then you're gonna say, "Oh man, Dom, to change. Actually, I don't really like this type of flooring. I don't like this type of door. I think the roof is ugly now. Let's go ahead and change it." What Agile does Agile is focused on delivering what you want incrementally. So instead of waterfall, I build everything and give it to you. I'm gonna build a small portion. I'll build a door first. Say, here you go, Siri. Why? Here's your door. And you're gonna be like, okay, I like this door. Or if things are different, you're gonna be like, I don't really like the way this door looks. Can you go ahead and do this differently? And then we'll go ahead and adjust and deliver that value back to you. So Agile focuses on delivering value incrementally instead of just giving it to you. Agile focuses on communication. Agile focuses on just getting things done in an agile way. I hope that
Yeah.
sums it up.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, so with those larger grooming meetings, you have to meet with other Scrum Masters, and that's where you put your stories together, right? Because you're only working on one sort of functionality. Can you tell us how that fits into the whole picture?
So as far as grooming, it for an example, for my Scrum team right now, we have 4 features that we're working on, or 4 features that we committed to within this PI, because I'm safe. This program increment, basically, we have 4 projects that we're working on for the next 3 months that we said, hey, business, we're going to give you guys this type of work for the next 3 months. And so what SAFE does is PI planning. And what that means is that we go ahead and our business is going to give us work that they need done. Depending on how large our team is, we're going to go ahead and say, hey, this is our capacity. We are able to deliver you this, and this within 3 months. That's all we could do for you currently. And so where the grooming comes into that during PI planning, that 3-day event, we go ahead and commit to whatever that we think we can do for the business within the 3 months. And we go ahead and groom that. We go ahead and discuss every single story that we need to finish out this project. So every work that we need to deliver to the company to finish out each project, we discuss every risk that is going to come to us. We discuss every dependency. If we need to work with another team on the other side of USAA, we'll discuss that. And grooming happens at least once a week, just to make sure everything is smooth. There's a meeting called the backlog refinement, and that's basically where you go in and you groom your backlog based off of priority. What's important, what needs to be done first, what is going to add to the work that you committed to the next 3 months, and just making sure that what you're delivering aligns to what the business is asking for. So grooming is huge, honestly. Grooming, you're gonna do it every single week as a Scrum Master. It's something that you have to do. So
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I got 3 more questions to ask you before I release you to the hounds. So, so what are the biggest challenges that you face working at USAA?
Biggest challenges previously we
Meetings.
just had meetings for sure. Lots and lots of
Yeah.
meetings, honestly. So many meetings. Crazy.
Hey, you get paid for it though, right? So.
Yeah, no, but biggest challenges I would say is we've had this one project where it was an arts in project, meaning that we were working with different teams from different arts, basically. And the issue with that is our what's it called? Solutions Epic owner. The Epic owner. That's what
Okay.
it was. Yeah. The Epic owner wasn't present, unfortunately. And so it made it really, really hard for each team to coordinate what they needed to do. Because that's the Epic owner's role. He's supposed to go in and basically say, hey, you work with this guy, y'all get this done, y'all do this, y'all do that, y'all do this, so we can go ahead and get this big old project done. It was a 10-team project, so there was 10 different Scrum teams working on this, more than 40 people, more than 50 people working on this project. And so it was very challenging because each team had the mindset of, hey, I'm going to do this, what I need to do, I'm gonna give it to the next person, like it's a train. We come in, we do what we gotta do, and we go. But it shouldn't be like that, because everybody's thinking I need to do my part and that's it. But there's more that needed to be done. And there's more communication that needed to be done. There's more coordination that needed to be done for that specific project. So I think the biggest challenge that I had was that whole project, as far as coordination, as far as communication, as far as everyone knowing what they needed to do to get the work done. it wasn't set out there. Um, so yeah, that's the
Hey,
biggest.
sounds like the military, man. To be honest. Okay, so last one. So, what are some of the traits that you think that USA is looking for in a Scrum Master, aka also project manager?
So um, I would say you Scrum Master off bat, you have to be a servant leader. And that means you have to lead servantly. So whatever your team needs done, you have to be there to give it to them. I like to think of Scrum Masters as is it's a luxury to have a Scrum Master because some teams don't have Scrum Masters. Some teams have your technical lead playing the role of a Scrum Master, which is not the best thing. Um, but your servant leader as a Scrum Master, for sure, that's one thing. Secondly, I would say if you're a technical Scrum Master, meaning you understand, just a little bit of what your developers are doing, that is a big plus. Again, most businesses, at least what I'm experiencing now, they're not just looking for regular Scrum Masters, no more people with CSM. They're looking for more than that. So being a little bit technical is something that you should look into. Um, Being an agent of change, um, preparing your team for change, being extremely communicative. Um, as a Scrum Master, communication is key. Honestly, a whole project could be messed up. You could set your team back months if they're not communicating with whoever they need to communicate with. If it's a dependency, if it's a risk, communication is huge. And you also want to be able to create an environment of trust. You want to create an environment of security because your team's not going to listen to you. They're not going to believe in you if they cannot trust you and if they cannot feel secure. You want to make a family because you'll be seeing these people more than you see your kids every single day, depending on who they are. Um, yeah, so you definitely want to have soft skills. You want to build a good environment. But being a servant leader, being technical, being an agent of change, being communicative, and then just building a good environment, I think those are really good traits for a Scrum Master.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, Dominic. I think every single person in this room, like every single word that you said has resonated with us because that's exactly what we experienced in the service as a servant leader and always thinking about others. So thank you for giving us that language to try to put, whether in an interview or in a resume or wherever we go in the future, that having a technical side along with that soft skill side is always going to be important, especially in a
Yeah,
large enterprise. And the number one thing you said is communication. We always have
it's
problems
huge.
with communication breakdown. And in an organization like USAA with what 37,000 people, communication is paramount, right? So,
It's huge. It's crazy.
but yeah. So at this time, if you got a moment, I'm going to open it up to anyone else that wants to ask any questions.
Any questions?
If not, I got another one here from somebody earlier. He's mainly interested in how specific a specialty he should seek out for being a project manager. Are there really specialties within the project
Within,
management space?
um, so I know that I don't really have a lot of information on project manager
Yeah.
or project management.
Hmm.
We're talking like, yeah, I don't really have a lot of information on PMP as a
Yep.
whole. I know that is a huge, huge certification that takes a lot of time to
Yeah.
attain and a lot of studying. My pastor just got his PMP not that long ago, and it took him 8 days to study for that certification.
Just 8
So
days?
he's a genius.
Wow.
That's all I can say. He's a genius. Yeah. And I was like, Pastor, how long you studied? You've been studying for this certification. He said 8 days. I was like, wow. Okay.
Well, then
So
he's
I'm just
got
like,
it. So,
Did he take a boot? Did he take a boot camp or something?
I'm not even sure. I think no, he didn't take a boot camp. It was just the regular PMP class that he went to. And then he studied along for 8 straight days, and then he got his PMP certification.
all right, I got another burning question here. With how many jobs there are in the market, or I should say, how many employees are looking for jobs, how many applications should one be expecting to put out before they get a call back? I guess you could just relate to your experience.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, for Scrum Master. Oh my goodness, man. Honestly, when I got certified in October, I didn't receive any like real motion until late February, honestly. So, if because I know some people lie on their resume saying, "Hey, I've been a Scrum Master for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, yada yada yada."
Sure.
Um, I didn't lie on my resume. I kept it straight. So it took some time for me to receive an offer, honestly. Just because
You didn't
I'm
fabricate.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, and so it takes time. So just to answer the question, I would say whenever you see an application for and just apply, just apply. You should be applying at least 10 times a day. Honestly, as a Scrum Master, apply. That's what my pastor told me, and I applied like crazy. It definitely takes time to receive an offer, depending on how your resume is set up, depending on what words you have, depending on how long you've been a Scrum Master as well, and then depending on what certifications, what background that you have. But the best that you can do for yourself is like apply like crazy. If you're applying only once or twice to one um, job offering or one that you see on LinkedIn or Indeed or clearance job, since military men, y'all have the clearance, which is awesome. Apply, honestly, apply like crazy. Apply as much as you can if you have time. just
Yeah.
just apply.
And you landed a remote job too, so you stuck out on top of that pile. So that has to say a lot something about you, because there's people all over the world looking for that type of stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely hit the spot with USA for sure.
Yeah. So
um
so your
so
certifications and your background is what brought you to the top of that pile. Well, brought you to that pile. You were the guy that was delivered.
um,
So
yeah, I was there, and networking as well.
yep,
If
yep.
you know, networking is huge. Honestly, it's huge because I know three different Scrum Masters that are in USA currently. Um, and so, yeah, networking is huge. So whoever you can speak with, whoever is in an organization you're trying to get into, go ahead and talk to them. You never know one day that the person that you were speaking with on LinkedIn is the person that's interviewing you for a Scrum Master role. Um, so yeah, especially if it's like a junior Scrum Master, I know that they use some of the senior Scrum Masters to go in and interview the junior Scrum Masters to make sure that the junior
Sure.
Scrum Masters know what they're talking about. So networking is huge.
Are you
And
talking about
apply.
the senior scrum masters are the ones that are reviewing what the junior scrum like the people that are interviewing? Is that what you're saying? Or
Yes,
okay.
yeah. So the senior Scrum Masters will go with your manager in the interview and basically interview the junior Scrum Masters to make sure that they know exactly what they're talking about and they're just not fake Scrum Masters. So,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
I guess that's something that's very interesting. I guess you have to sort of know what the framework of the business is to be able to speak
Yeah,
intelligently. Could you give
yeah.
any advice on how to breach that? Because if I'm coming to an organization and I don't have no idea what stacks they use or how would
Mhm.
you approach something like
Um,
that?
Depending on what the job description says, that's how I would do my research. So for USAA, they spoke heavily on SDLC, software development lifecycle, and so that was my main talking point. I learned what is in each cycle, um, and how it works as a whole. I learned just a little bit about USA, but for Scrum Master, you don't really want it to be an interview. You want it to be a conversation. You don't want to be scared and be stiff. You want to be calm and chill, and you want to speak to them in a conversation type tone. Honestly, that proves that you know what you're talking about. That proves that you're not shaky. And you want to speak Scrum. You want to understand all the metrics, velocity, capacity. Um, you want to understand iterations. You want to understand how to resolve issues. You want to understand how to remove blockers. You want to show that you know all these things. and that's just going to help you. And then you can crack a few jokes. I know in my interview, I told my manager that, hey, I'm not trying to come into USA and be the scrum police. I'm not gonna do all that. And I had everyone laughing in the interview. So honestly, you want to take it as a conversation, and yeah, just show you know what you're talking about. As long as you understand and you're able to speak Scrum, you'll definitely be okay.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And the last one. So, what are the worst parts of your job besides the meetings?
Worst parts of my job. I think the Scrum Master role is underappreciated.
Okay,
Um, it's not the
interesting.
role that's yeah, it's not the role that's spoken of in all the meetings. It's not the role that's everyone's clapping about. Great job, Scrum Masters. Great job. You know, so there's not a lot of recognition. There's not a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for. They don't come to you. Honestly, you do all the work in the back end, and then your developers are the ones that are receiving the praise. The product owners are the ones that are speaking in the big meetings because the product owners are closer to the business than you
Sure.
are. So I think that's not that's the I would you could say the worst part is that it's not Scrum Masters are underappreciated.
Underappreciated. Yep.
Uh, they get paid good, so
Hey, that's what it's about, right?
it works out. But yeah, that's honestly the that's the worst thing. But despite that, the role is fun. It's something new every
Yep.
single day. It's never boring. It's never did the same thing that you did yesterday. The stand-ups, they're the same thing, but it's always it's always something new. You got to spice it up at times.
Yep.
So
No, I got you. Thank you so much for your time today. Yeah, that's something that inspires me at USAA too, is just like the culture there too. Like everybody
yeah,
is all about the member, and it's like I never left the military. Not in a cheesy military way, but in a way that I feel incredibly supported still, even though I'm
mhm,
retired now. So that's what's drawn me to that. And on top of the fact that you have a remote job that pays really well, I think that's something that people can aspire to try to do, because
yep,
hearing you speak earlier about servant leadership and you know having a family, um, I can't really count on too many times where I could say that I had a unit where I could say that I had a family. I mean, I've had a
yeah,
couple times in my career where like, oh man, this group of people here is a rock solid group of people, but of course that changes. Um,
yeah.
so thank you for touching on that and sparking that little bit of inspiration in us. So, but with that being said, if nobody has any more questions, I've held you captive long enough, and I appreciate it very much. So, does anybody have anything else?
No, man, I appreciate everything you told us tonight.
Yeah, cool. All right, and as I said, if it's okay with you, Dominic, I'm gonna post this up in the channel so people could watch it later. And I also have your
Yeah.
LinkedIn in here. If I could leave that up so people, if they want to reach out to you, just to be like, hey, I have a question about what you said in this meeting. I think that'd be pretty cool if you're okay with that. So I already gave you a bunch of swag, but when I come back, I got one more thing to give you. So
No, I appreciate it. It's definitely a pleasure being in environments with so many amazing people. Military men, thank you for your
yeah,
service for sure.
no, thanks for your
Um,
support.
and cybersecurity is
Yeah,
definitely the way to go.
and I have to tell you one thing about this group in particular is we have a couple guys in here that are actually in the field, myself included. So
Mhm.
feel free to come in here and look for resources. I know some of them are geared towards just veterans, but there's some free resources for everybody too.
Yeah,
And it's a lot. And the problem is, again, is it a good resource? So,
no, I'll definitely be here.
yeah, no,
Looking
for sure.
around.
But hey, thank you for your time. And everybody, thanks for showing up. Catch you guys later.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dom.